Well, here we are with the Southern Grind Bad Monkey. And I like the Bad Monkey. I saw this design and I've had this knife for a while. I had it in a drawer and just like I own it and I'm going to keep it so I don't have to do the review and pass it on a pass around group or this or that. So at least this is one that I put off because I had more urgent things to do. And this has been out for quite a while, but it's still available. And when I went looking for my Bad Monkey, I wanted the Emerson Wave, the carbon fiber. I could have had G10. I wouldn't have been so big a deal. I did want one with maybe S35VN steel, but all I could find was the Sandvik, the 14C28N steel on the Bad Monkey. I didn't want the Spider Monkey. That does come in S35VN. So I don't know. I could be wrong, or that I just haven't seen the Bad Monkey. And Southern Grind has their own website. I'll give you the link to that. But so they may have come out in some with other steels like Damascus or Damasteel or what. I think I've seen Damasteel on some of their knives, etc. So it's got the Emerson Wave. Obviously, it's not on bearings. It's on bronze washers that you can see through there. And I was going to take this apart, except I'm not going to take this apart. Well, I can take this apart, but I can't take this apart. Even my snap ring pliers won't go close enough together to do that and see that hardware. And why they made it proprietary like that, I don't know. I guess they just don't want people messing with it. But on the other hand, come on, guys. I appreciate it if they do make it to where I can open it up, clean it, do other things. Now, you don't have bearings on here, so you're not going to get a lot of dirt in a bearing ring because there are none. And the bronze washers make full contact, so nothing's really going to get under them. All right, maybe you could actually, unscrew this, pop that out, and pull the blade without doing these, and you could, so that's possible. Really nothing special to see inside there. A little bit of weight relieving with this carbon fiber. It's real tactile here. I got mine from White Mountain Knives, and so, this is the one I got from Justin. Carbon fiber, plain blade, and it's a satin grind, although it looks like stonewash on top. And 232, so or this one, I'm sorry, is 212, and after $21 discount, 10% LTK discount, so then you go to under $200. And of course, this is made in the USA, and you got the lock and liner or titanium, flat grind, 14C28N, supposedly at 59 to 61 Rockwell, and I will get this Rockwell tested. Blade thickness 0.130, and the handle length is 5.25 inches. Blade length is 4 inches. Overall is 9.25 inches. So, and it's a drop point blade, if you hadn't noticed. So, yes. And the Emerson Wave, and of course, you got the Emerson thing back here, and that comes out the back of your pocket. There's your lockup, and that's 35%. It's a strong lockup. Kind of a little ticky there with a little stick, I've noticed, but it depends on how hard you slap it open. And there you go, just a little tick. Not bad though. There's the liners, they're real thick. And yeah, they're titanium. I mean, there's no magnetism there. I'm not feeling any magnetism. Pocket clip, gotcha. So, yeah, very nice. Like to be able to get in there, but it's not that big a deal, I guess. Fit and finish is nice on it, and of course, you can snap it open. I do it middle finger, but of course, you've got these thumb studs you can use, so you can go, thumb as well. You can just roll it open if you want, or wave it out of your pocket. I like the fact that it waves. I don't know if I was really interested in getting one that didn't wave, but oh well. They made them to where you can get them like this, and that's good enough for me. Nice. So what comes in the box? Well, it's a fairly, just standard looking box, and here's, you get a little card. It comes in the little plastic there, and there you go. And care for your knife, that kind of thing. So nothing overly, done there on the presentation, especially when you're talking about a knife over $200 with Sandvik steel. And I think there's going to be some people thinking, I ought to be getting an S35 VN for that. I should be getting a Crucible, particle metallurgy powdered super steel with high vanadium content for that. And I'm not. And so there's a lot of knives out there with 14C28N. A lot of them are rake knives and real steel knives and others. And they're all, 35 to 55, 60 bucks. Now, this is made in the USA. And, I on one hand, yeah, I see that argument. On the other hand, I say it's not always about the steel. It's not always about the steel. And, I can understand why they did this on washers as well. I think this was made to be, a carry user knife. And so I got no problem with that. And, USA makers are held to a lot more, taxes, overhead costs, and things like that. Plus, it's not about the steel. There's a lot of knives I've bought where I think maybe if I was just basing my decision on the steel, I'd say it's overpriced. But it's about the design. It's about the feel of it. And there's some lust factor that goes into knives that you buy, because obviously if all you needed was a knife that made sense to do normal tasks, you'd probably need 2 or 3 knives in your life, maybe. And so, obviously, knife enthusiasts may have dozens, hundreds of knives. So we're buying them for other reasons. Craftsmanship, style, design, materials, all kinds of different reasons. And you don't need a reason, because if you like the hobby, do what the hell you want. That's what I'd do. And there it goes, and there it drops. And, I probably could adjust this a little bit. It might be interesting. Maybe near the end, I'll try and play with this pivot tension. The pocket clip. What the hell's going on with the pocket clip, man? That's a whole lot of insanity right there, isn't it? I got this, and I just thought, holy shit. Okay, so I could see one thing. You're pulling it out of your pocket. You want the wave action to work. So you want this to kind of disengage from the lip of your pocket in time for you to kind of maybe turn it a little bit to get it back to that back lip of your pocket, so where it can catch and flip. Okay, so it's definitely done that. That's really, really a pint-size looking pocket clip. But I think extending it just a little bit would kind of give it a little bit more feel of proportion with the overall length of the knife. And, not like this is the standard for the world. And maybe this is a little bit long, but the Paramilitary 2, check it out. Now, one thing, I'm not usually big on is when the pocket clip does this. It's going straight up. It's going like this, okay? I like it when it goes up, and then at the very end, it levels out. Now, this seems to capture your pocket clip nice, your pocket, your lip of your pocket very nicely. I know that the Paramilitary 2 goes in and out of my pocket very well. I think these are well-designed pocket clips. 3 screws, the ramp up, But then from there, it all changes, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, I'd prefer this. Wonder if that, no, it's not interchangeable. Too bad. So yeah, I think that's the one thing that really hits me visually and stylistically. Other than that, if you look at the design flow, this disappears into the bolster nicely, and this does too. Let's take a look at this. Did we get all the length out of here that we could? You know, maybe we're lacking a little bit here. We could have done a little bit more. We got 5 1/4 here. Okay, so we got like 9 1/4 inches. I've seen a 9-inch knife with a 4-inch blade, so maybe they could have done another 1/16 or so on the blade. But I mean, that's not a huge situation. And so you can see 4 inches, and that's 4 inches all damn day long. Cutting edge is 100 millimeters and almost a 105, length on the blade. Overall, a bit over a 9 1/8 and almost 23.5 centimeters. So it's definitely got a lot of room on the handle, and it's pretty neutral here. So it feels good in the hand. I mean, I like it. I think it's a keeper. I think this is one of those, maybe someday I'll do knives that I think, almost every enthusiast ought to at least consider having as long-term keepers. And I think this would be in that group, to tell you the truth, like the paramilitary too. But I think this is also, it's comfortable in the hand. And yes, I can feel this, and that's why I talked about it a little bit. It'd wear on you after a while. Reverse grip, come on. No, that's comfortable. That's fine. And really, I don't feel the clip because it's like there, right? So I'm not really touching it. So that's even more comfortable. Got a little choil in here, so you should be able to sharpen this nicely. And speaking of sharpening, let's see if it'll cut anything. Okay, yeah. It's sharp right out of the box. So that's nice. Blade stock, let's talk about that. They said did they say 0.13 somewhere in there? I'm getting right in there at 3.3, 3.4 millimeters. I'm pushing too much. About 3.4, 3.3, 14.2, 0.56, 0.56 of an inch. So a little over a ½ inch. It's a good handful. Nice thick liners on here. The standoffs look good. So it's solid. Feels real structural. But I don't think it's all that horribly heavy. Doesn't feel that way. Grams. 145. I mean, it's not definitely not an ultra lightweight, but 5.1 ounces. Okay, well, it's over 9 inches long. It's got big, thick titanium liners, and it's got reasonably heavy blade stock, so just a tad over 5 ounces isn't that bad. And you got jimping along this liner. You can see it's open. So yes, it's easy to disengage the liner, and you do get a bit of a drop on this, even with the washers, and it gets better. It gets better with time. They'll polish up. You could take the washers out and polish them, probably without disassembling the rest of the knife, as I was saying. You could probably just pull the pivot, knock it through, and pull the blade and the washers, and then push them back in. And I've done that before on knives. So yeah, you could do that if you wanted. I've seen where guys have said they've polished washers and really gave the knife a lot better drop. I think that'll happen with time, though. Lanyard hole. And of course, there's no backspacer here. Usually I like a backspacer, but I'm going to give this one a pass. And you can't touch the blade through here, so it doesn't come dangerously close. But this is kind of an open worker, washer based knife. So does it have to have the finished look of a real elegant knife? Nah, probably not. I don't see it that way. So just like the paramilitary 2, I mean, that's a pass for me too. Although you can actually get a backspacer for this knife in the aftermarket. So maybe you can on this. I don't know. I've never looked around. But I mean, I like the Bad Monkey because it's big. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll cave and get a Spider Monkey, but I think I'm pretty damn happy right here with this. All things considered, and even with 14C28N, it's something that I can sharpen because it's not a super steel, which makes it a good user steel and easier to maintain. So there are some pluses about that. I am definitely far from being a steel snob. And there's your thumb. There's good traction there. You've got a thumb ramp situation going. Like I said, you got that trail. It's not a go forward position, so you got to stay back right in here, but that's comfortable. That's pretty comfortable. And even if you have bigger hands, you can keep going out here. I mean, there's room. There's no like things, there's no humps here or no choils going along here where your fingers have to fit certain places. It's very neutral, long handle, plenty of room. Wow, everybody can get a hold of this one with pretty good comfort. Nice grind. Tip is definitely no fainting flower there. That's pretty heavy duty tip there. So it's a sturdy looking knife. I'm sure it can take some hard use and abuse. So I'm ever since I saw these knives, they've been on my radar, and then I finally got one months ago, and it's just been one that I carry, use casually, and then kept in my review drawer a bit because I always plan on getting to it, but here it is, finally. Bad Monkey. Made in the USA. I like it. I think it's one that maybe everybody should consider to have one of this brand in their collection if they're pretty avid collectors and enthusiasts. And there probably are a lot of people that have one of these. I just see it as a real good practical carry knife. You know, not overly heavy for sure. With the Emerson Wave, just open in a one-hand situation and open, easy to clean, so great. Hey, I'm going to let you go, but the Bad Monkey from Southern Grind, just a great knife. Really like it. And you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.